Blech. Right. That's a little, hang on a second. Yep. Sound was a little high for me. Right. Trial 3. God, that means I'm going to have to voice.
Themis Legal Academy, a prestigious high school with alumni in the highest echelons of the legal world.
Oh no, I'm going to be late. Finally. So this is it, the illustrious Themis Legal Academy. This is the place where many distinguished lawyers and prosecutors got their start. The news spread that Mr. Wright had gotten his attorney's badge back. He received a call from his school asking him to pay a visit. Mr. Wright brought us along, hoping we'd learn something from the experience. But no, I had to go and blow it by getting here 30 minutes late. At least it's not all business today. After all, today's their school festival. Wow, this place has school festival written all over it. Literally. Why all the carved stairs? Is it because everyone's in a school uniform except me? Well, I like the way I dress. Wonder where Mr. Wright and Apollo are. Your attention, please. This is an announcement from the mock trial committee. The mock trial will begin shortly. All students and faculty, please proceed at once to the lecture hall. Thank you. Sounds like a mock trial is about to start. But where's this lecture hall? Looks like all the student and faculty are heading that way. Might as well join them. Maybe I'll find Mr. Wright and Apollo there. This must be the lecture hall. Wow, they spent some serious money on this place. The district court can't even compete. Hey, Athena, over here. Ah, Mr. Wright, Apollo. I've been looking for you too. I'm so sorry I'm late. It's okay. Sorry we couldn't wait for you. But we didn't want to be late for our meeting. Lucky for you, the person we're supposed to meet also seems to be running late. Mr. Justice? Mr. Wright, Mr. Justice. Seems Professor Court has yet to arrive. How unprofessional of her to keep visitors to our esteemed institution waiting like this. I shall make our right. I will not... Oh, what do we have here? Alright, you haven't been introduced yet. Ah, yes. You must be the young lady Mr. Wright was telling me about. I'm Aristotle Means.
a professor at this hollowed hall of learning. I oversee the lawyer's course here. It is a pleasure to meet you.
I'm Athena Sykes. I just recently got my attorney's badge myself. It's nice to meet you too.
How wonderful. So vigorous and vivacious. You just earned yourself a gold star.
Wow, thanks. That big smile of his is kind of scary though.
Looks like the mock trial is about to begin. Well, what are we going to do about our meeting?
Oh, speaking of the mock trial, do either of you know what it's about?
Oh, but I thought we had sent a pamphlet to your office. Right, the pamphlet. Whatever happened to that?
You won't be seeing it again. Tracy used it for the old rip it up and restore it trick. Unfortunately, it didn't work as advertised.
Well, it seems I had better explain the situation then. Thank you, Professor. Now, does anyone here have any questions?
I do, Professor. Could you tell me all about your school?
What an excellent question. Here's a gold star for asking. Our academy has 3 courses to choose from. Students seeking to be lawyers take the lawyer course. Likewise, budding prosecutors take the prosecutor course, and future judges the judge course.
Wow, you have everything here for someone who wants to seriously pursue a career in law.
Yes, well, that's what makes our school special, and today even more so. After all, we are to be treated to a lecture by the legendary attorney Phoenix Wright. We can't wait to hear all about his return to the legal profession.
You're giving a lecture, Mr. Wright? But you're not even a professor.
Yeah, well, I'm just giving them what they want.
Did you even know you were meant to be giving a lecture here today?
Yeah, sort of. But I came early because I was supposed to have a meeting with the head of the judge course, Constance Court. It's been a whirlwind of a morning. Let's leave it at that. Professor Court. She is a wonderful instructor, but quite unpunctual.
Oh, so that's who's late.
From what I've heard, our esteemed Mr. Wright here is scheduled to hold a training seminar tomorrow, in addition to today's lecture.
Training seminar? For lawyers? What exactly does that involve?
Why, it involves the very skills that make a lawyer. The arm angle when shouting objection, the proper way to strike the podium, how to project one's voice, and most importantly, how to bluff your way to victory. Who exactly do you want me to teach stuff like that to again? What a wonderful question. You just earned yourself a gold star. The great honor of taking a seminar by a famous lawyer and a famous prosecutor. That is what is at stake in this mock trial, the crown jewel of the school festival. The mock trial in question is a prestigious event that every student aspires to win. The top student in the lawyer course and the top student in the prosecutor course face off in a simulated court case set in this very school, or for the case itself. As for the case itself, we selected the best script written by a judge, course student, and base our case on that.
Oh, a one-on-one battle. How thrilling.
So, if the student studying to be a lawyer wins, they get to take my training seminar. But what if the other student wins? I'm not a prosecutor, so... There's no cause for alarm. We have a famous prosecutor ready for just such a case. but exactly who it is, well, that is a special surprise.
Famous prosecutor? No, it can't be.
Professor Means, forgive me for interrupting you and your guests. Oh,
Professor Means, forgive me for interrupting you and your guests. I'm Juniper Woods, the third year in the judge course. Professor, the trial will begin shortly, since you'll be delivering the pre-trial speech. Would you mind waiting up in the balcony until we're ready for you?
My, how very organized you are, Juniper. You just earned yourself a gold star, too. But what about Professor Court? Well, I suppose she'll eventually arrive. Now then, I trust you'll look after our visitors, Juniper.
Yes, of course, Professor Means. Juniper? Juniper Woods, is that you? Hmm? Athena? I almost didn't recognize you. I didn't know you were back from Europe.
Wait, you two know each other? Now that's a coincidence.
We've known each other since we were kids. We're like best friends, right, Junie? Yes. Well, we live close to each other, so we used to play in the forest together. Yeah, like a lot. Yeah, like a lot. Why won't she look at me? I guess I shouldn't be surprised since we haven't seen each other in a long time.
Anyway, we're supposed to go wait in the waiting room, right? Not that I wouldn't mind taking in the mock exam trial. Not that I wouldn't mind taking in the mock trial you're putting on today.
Unfortunately, the mock trial is only for students and faculty. There is one seat reserved for Mr. Wright, but no other exceptions are allowed.
Yes, I'm very sorry, but it is part of the student curriculum after all. I hope you won't mind remaining in the waiting room until the trial concludes.
That's too bad.
I was hoping to learn something new today. I'll tell you what, Apollo. Why don't you take my place?
What? Really?
Sure. Besides, I'd like to meet with Professor Cord as soon as she gets here.
Oh, no fair. I want to see the mock trial too.
Sorry. I'm going to let Apollo pull what little rank he has, if that's okay with Professor Means. But of course, Mr. Wright, if that is what you wish. Settle then. We'll expect a full and detailed report, Apollo, so pay attention.
Being the new kid sure stinks. If you would please follow me, I'll escort you down to the waiting room on the first floor. Still no Professor Cord. It's been over 30 minutes. Mr. Wright's snoozing away on the sofa. This is so boring. I should have hidden the lecture hall and spied on the mock trial. What was that?
Athena, could have sworn I just heard something fall down and break. If you go running now, they'll think it was you.
Well, it wasn't me. I think it came from somewhere outside.
Oh well, we better go have a look, seeing as everyone else is in the lecture hall.
Okay. Is this staged for some sort of concert? Kind of reminds me of a courtroom.
Wait, Athena, behind the witness stand.
What?
Professor Court, can you hear me? Professor!
Wait, that's who we were supposed to be meeting with?
Looks like our meeting's been cancelled for us.
No way. This can't be real. I called the police. They should be here soon. I'll go tell everyone in the lecture hall too.
No, wait. They'll find out soon enough once the police get here. Let's do our own crime scene investigation before it gets too crowded around here.
Huh? Are we even allowed to do that?
It's no big deal as long as we leave it exactly like we found it. Plus... no, never mind. Anyway, we should look around while the scene's still fresh.
But... okay, you're the boss. Guess I really do have to examine the body. Well, guess I better get used to stuff like this if I want to be a full-fledged lawyer.
Notice anything strange about the body? Take a deep breath and then take a good look.
Well, now that you mention it, there's no blood around it.
Yet the victim's body is cold and rigor mortis has already started to dissipate. It would appear that quite some time has passed since Professor Court was murdered. Thing is, the quad was packed with students up until the start of the mock trial.
Wait, and does that mean she was killed at a different location? Oh, I know. The killer moved the body here while everyone was in the lecture hall.
It's a definite possibility. Notice anything else?
Her arms are raised over her head, and there are dark bruises around her wrists.
Yeah, the professor was probably tied up with something.
Eventually her wrists were unbound, and as she reached up to stretch, she was killed. Actually, I'm not so sure about this theory.
Well, it's not exactly a lot to go on. What do we have here? A book? I'm guessing it fell out of her chest pocket.
Wait, what if it's a diary? That's the most private thing a girl has.
True, but considering the situation at hand, my apologies to the late Professor Court.
No, don't.
Looks more like a planner than a diary. Every page seems to have the same sword mark printed on it at that.
Still think a girl deserves her privacy, but this may help us solve the case. There's an arrow stuck in her side. Gunshot wounds and stab wounds are pretty common, but arrow wounds?
This is a homicide any way you slice it. In other words, we have a murder on our hands.
Murder? Here? So, that makes this arrow the murder weapon. Well, that and the bow that shot it.
Right, but where could the killer have shot her from? The stage is a sea of obstructions. I'm no expert on archery, but it can't be easy to hit a target with this much stuff around.
Would it be possible to kill someone by stabbing them with an arrow?
I'm not sure. Guess we better do some more investigating before jumping to conclusions.
I think that's about all we're going to find out from the body for now.
Nice work, Athena. Your face only turned 5 shades of pale. I was expecting 50. You should probably take a picture of the crime scene just in case.
Okay, I'm on it. Say cheese.
Jeez, and I thought I was the one with the twisted sense of humour.
I think that should do it.
Right, let's take a better look around the area while we wait for the police to arrive.
This part of the rubble sticks out like a sore thumb. Looks like broken pottery or plaster. Maybe this is the source of that noise we heard, but...
There were supposedly 2 statues on this stage. Seem to recall hearing that a co-ed from the Fine Art Club had made them.
There were 2. Then that thing over there is the remains of another statue.
This could be related to the case. Let's take a closer look.
There's something buried in the rubble. The Thames Herald?
Wait, we shouldn't disturb it. Let's just read what we can.
Final act in torrid love triangle centered on campus she-devil Juniper Woods. Level-headed lawyer course genius and hot-blooded prosecutor course student will go head-to-head in a mock trial battle for the she-devil's black heart. Hugo O'Connor has declared that he will confess to her if he wins. Wait, what? I seriously wish I hadn't read that.
You find that more shocking than discovering a murdered victim's body?
But we're talking about my friend Junie here. She'd never lead guys on like that.
Athena, you don't believe everything you read, do you? This article is clearly written with malicious intent. I'm not buying a word of it.
You're right, but it's still disturbing, even if it's third-rate tabloid material. Wonder what this was a statue of. Whatever it was reddish-purple in colour.
When Apollo and I first got here, both statues were already here, but they were covered up. I bet they were waiting to unveil them when the school festival was moved here to this stage.
You mean this duffel bag-looking thing was actually being used to cover the statues? Guess that just leaves the question, were they broken by accident or on purpose? What a puzzle this is.
Mr. Wright, Athena!
Oh, here comes Apollo. I've never seen anyone move so fast.
Listen, something big's happened. I was at the mock trial when the police announced a body had been found on campus. That's right, and we're the ones who phoned it in. We found Professor Court dead behind the witness stand over there.
What? Can you show me?
What the?
We've already had a quick look at the body. It's definitely a homicide, once the police get here.
No, I know it's a homicide. I'm shocked because it's the same. Exactly the same. Whoa there, Apollo. Take a deep breath and explain what you mean. It's the same. The body, that is. It's just like how it was in the mock trial.
What? It's like the mock trial?
I know it sounds crazy, but... the body's location and position, the murder weapon, the lack of pooling blood... it's all exactly like the mock trial.
You're kidding. right? It can't really all be the same, can it?
The whole school's in an uproar. There won't be any more classes today. Murder on campus. That's the last thing I expected at a legal academy. I'll go tell Professor Means that we observed what we observed when we... There. I'll go tell Professor Means what we observed when we discovered the body. You two wait here until you've spoken with the police.
Yes, boss.
I can't believe this is happening.
Can't believe we have to wait around here. I can't stay still at times like these. I hope Junie hasn't fainted from the shock of this whole thing. Athena! Athena, there you are. Junie, I'm glad to see you. I was worried that... Don't worry about me. I'm a student council president after all. I need to be strong. Student council president? Wow, I'm impressed. She's really changed. She used to be kind of sickly and shy.
Juniper, was it? You mind if we ask you a few questions?
Yeah, we're stuck here waiting for the police. There's really not much to do. Sure. What would you like to know? Haven't seen you in ages, Junie. What's it been? 7 years or so? Yes, and I remember how you were always there for me, Athena. Maybe it's just me, but I wanted to ask why you seem so distant. Remember how you used to call me Athena? I liked it better that way. It felt like we were sisters, you know? Yes, but I'm student council president now. And as the student representative of Themis Legal Academy, I have to act properly. She was never this stiff and formal before.
Ugh, blending into the same voice.
I knew you wanted to be a judge, but I didn't expect this. Such a prestigious school, and you're in the judge course to boot. Yes, and Professor Court had been in charge of it until, well, you know. All right, Professor Court was the professor in charge of Junie's course.
What sort of teacher was Professor Court?
If I had to sum her up in a single word, I'd say she was amazing. The judge must always seek the truth. That was her mantra, and she used it in trying to fix what was wrong with our school. She was a beacon of hope in this dark age of the law. What's wrong with your school? What did you mean by that? Oh, nothing. Never mind. Am I imagining things, or did I just detect something in Juniper's voice? Junie's voice? Professor Court chose my script for the mock trial. Oh, you mean all of the students in the judge course had to submit a script? And yours was the one she selected? Wow, that's amazing, Junie. Oh, thank you. But now Professor Court is... Who would do such a thing? Just yesterday we were working together trying to get things ready. Excuse me. Are you alright, Junie? Maybe you should take it easy for a while. So she's still got that cough. Guess she's not as strong as she pretends to be. Why do you need a script in a showdown between a lawyer and a prosecutor? Well, we were simulating a trial, so we needed a script as a framework. All the details about the incident and the people involved are included in the script. We also prepared a crime scene, photos, a murder weapon, and other kinds of evidence.
Wow, you guys think of everything. Must be hard getting all that ready.
Yes, well, it was only Professor Court and I. After all, we didn't want the script or other elements of the mock trial to get leaked. We were the only ones in the entire school who know all of the details. It must have been a big pain in the... that must have been really difficult. I wrote the script so that the case could go either way. That way the defense and prosecution both had an equal chance of winning.
If you think that's all she's capable of, you got another thing coming?
Huh? Who said that?
Juniper's genius doesn't stop at her brilliant script. Yeah! She gave an award-winning performance as a defendant, man! I think I found a rival of my courts of steel.
You, Robin, aren't you going to introduce yourselves to our guests? Student Council President and I won't have you treating them rudely.
You're right. I heard Mr. Wright was bringing a couple of guests with him. That would be you two, Apollo Justice and Athena Sykes.
Yep, I'm Athena Sykes.
And I'm Apollo Justice. Nice to meet you. I'll pass on the handshake. I'm studying to be a lawyer. My name's Hugh O'Connor. But some call me Mr. Perfect, because I never score less than 100% on tests.
Most pretentious introduction ever. And what's with his hand? Is it glued to the inside of his pocket or what? Yeesh.
Let me be the first to apologise for Hugh's totally rude introduction. Sorry! Now here's my intro. I'm Robin Newman. I'm studying to be a prosecutor, like the really cool kind that nails the bad guys. No! Where's the sincerity?
So he makes pottery too. And what's that bracelet contraption for? Junie sure has made some unusual friends. These two were the lawyer and the prosecutor in today's mock trial. And even though I wrote the script, I also played the part of the defendant. Final act in Torrid Love Triangle, centered on campus she-devil Juniper Woods. Level-headed lawyer course genius and hot-blooded prosecutor course student will go head-to-head in a mock trial battle for the she-devil's black heart. Wait, these two are the guys who supposedly have a thing for Junie?
Juniper, come on. Your role's way beyond just that. That's right! The mock trial's just the start! She's also in the school festival's main event! Live on stage, Juniper Woods, and the crowd goes bananas! Whoa!
I'm supposed to sing at the school festival. All of the other girls were too embarrassed to try out, so... My Junie singing? On stage in front of people? Wow, she really has changed. I was responsible for making everyone's stage costumes. And this is what I'll be wearing. That's amazing, Junie. But then again, you were always good at that kind of thing. These constellations in particular are really something. Oh, thank you. One of my favorite things to do is look up at the stars in the middle of the forest.
Huh? So you're a fan of the night sky then?
Wow, Apollo, didn't know you were such a romantic.
It's not like that. I have this friend, he and I go way back, who got me really interested in space.
Wait, you had friends when you were young? Color me surprised. As student council president, I cannot allow such mean-spirited teasing to continue. I think she's angry. The costumes were no problem, but as for singing, I'm not sure I...
No! You can do it! That's right. And anyone who says otherwise will have to answer to me.
It's like a chivalrous love triangle. A damsel in distress and two knights in shining armour. Maybe that Thames Herald article wasn't too far from the truth. Speaking of the latest news, I wonder how the mock trial turned out. So, how did the mock trial end? We were just about to reach a verdict when the police arrived. No one never know how it would have turned out.
I guess that's what happens when there's a real murder during a fake murder trial.
It ended right before the verdict. Talk about bad timing.
I was this close, man! I bet I would have won! But I bet the defense wasn't doing too badly either, right? We'll settle this some other time, and I assure you I will win when that time comes. Like I'm gonna let that happen! I don't think so!
I hope they don't end up hurting each other. Oh, don't worry. The three of us have been good friends since we enrolled here.
We even have proof of our friendship.
Proof? Like physical evidence proof? Yes. We're studying for a career in law, and in the legal world, evidence is everything.
Yeah! As long as our friendship lasts, you can bet we'll be carrying them around.
The famed Themes Legal Academy ingenuity at work. So, what exactly is this proof of friendship anyway? Well, it's a secret. And if I show you, it would be bad luck. Oh, okay. I knew it. There's definitely some discord in Junie's voice.
Our friendship is sacred and inviolable. It's not something to be put cheaply on display. Proof? We don't need no stinking proof. Us three are friends forever!
I can hear discord in their voices too. But they're talking about their friendship. What's going on here?
Something wrong, Athena?
No, it's nothing.
Oh, alright then. Hey, isn't that... Is this form right? Everyone, stop right where you are! Don't move a muscle!
Detective Fulbright. Is something wrong?
Why, if it isn't my little lawyer friends! Sorry, but the small talk will have to wait. Juniper Woods, you're under arrest for the murder of Constance Court.
I'm... what? Wait a second. What's going on here? Why are you arresting Junie?
Please, Detective Fulbright. We're involved in this case too. Aha! So you're the lawyers the dispatch said were first on scene. I can't tell you everything, but I will say this. There are two major reasons for our arrest. Number one, the suspect led somebody to where their body was.
I didn't...
And number two, the crime scene is exactly how the suspect portrayed it in her script.
But you can't arrest her on just those grounds?
True, but there's more. However, Prosecutor Blackwell specifically told me to say no more than that.
So Blackwell's the prosecuting attorney on this one too.
Detective Fulbright, we found this in the suspect's pocket. Why, there's blood on this.
That's evidence we made for the mock trial.
A mock trial? Never heard of such a thing, but it sounds fishy to me. Real fishy. Now, if you would, officers. Yes, sir.
But... Junie, I have to do something. I can't let them take her away like this.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I have work to do.
Hold it! Hold it! I refuse to believe that she's the killer! Junie! I've decided. I'm going to defend you. I'll fight with everything I've got. Lena. Junie, it's good to hear you say that name again.
Hate to interrupt your bonding time, but... aren't you rather new to all this? You're barely even a lawyer.
Well, I don't have much experience, and I may need to follow Mr. Wright's help at times. But nobody believes in Junie as much as I do.
I'll help you too, Juniper. There's no way you murdered your professor.
Una. Follow. Thank you both. I'm counting on you. We got your back, Junie.
One second. Check something quickly. Okay. Guess things worked out after all. Now that you have your lawyers, Miss Woods, it's time for us to head back to the station.
Can't believe Junie's been arrested for murder. Can't believe I accepted her case without asking Mr. Wright.
Take a deep breath and relax, Athena. I'm here to help with whatever you need. So let's get right on the case.
Right.
I won't have this case left in the hands of rank amateurs. If anyone's going to solve this case, it'll be me. Time to investigate.
Why, that smug little... He hasn't even finished law school.
Yo! That was totally rude! And you're not the only one on this case. Man! I'm in too! Big time! Juniper Woods! I'm gonna save you! Ugh, can't wait for that brakes to come off. Now that those two are gone, let's get back to what I was talking about in front of the stage. About the mock trial, that is.
All right. You said the victim's location position and so on were just like in the script.
Exactly, but without the script or any props, it's kind of hard to explain.
Is that Clavia?
Perhaps I could help, Herr Forehead. Prosecutor Gavin, what are you doing here?
You two seem to know each other. Is someone going to introduce me?
Well, I do believe we have a fresh face here. Greetings, Fräulein. I am Clavia Gavin. Some know me as a prosecutor, but I'm most famous for my former rock band. We were quite popular, you know, but regrettably the band went kaput. Perhaps you've heard of us, the Gavineers. I was the lead vocalist.
Never heard of your band. Then again, I was out of the country till only recently. But can I get your autograph?
But you just met him like 3 seconds ago and you want his autograph? Forgive me, Fräulein, but I've retired from the music biz. But I'd be happy to offer my autograph as rock star prosecutor Clavia Gavin.
Oh, okay. That one then.
She is a lively one, eh, Herr Forehead? Didn't know she was your type. She's the newest member of Wright Anything Agency, that's all.
Nice to meet you. I'm Athena Sykes.
Pleasure to meet you too, Athena Sykes. Now that the intros are out of the way, I'm sure you have some questions for me. Ja, Herr Forehead? So what are you doing here, Prosecutor Gavin? I'm here for the same reason as your boss, to give a lecture and a training seminar.
So he's the famous prosecutor they invited.
And I have another crucial role to play. The Gavineers are getting back together for a one-time special performance. Even though you guys disbanded, which was a shame by the way, really. Yeah, I know how much you adore our music, Herr Forehead. Anyway, I studied abroad in Germany to get my badge early, but I did graduate from here.
Wait, so that performance Junie mentioned?
I see you've already heard about that. One student representative was selected to sing with us on stage. And that stage was supposed to look like this tomorrow. Two big banners and a pair of wicked statues. This is just an illustration, but it's not half bad.
Wicked statues. Wait, are these supposed to be you and Mr. Wright?
Bingo, Fräulein. And they were so big and magnificent too. What a terrible waste. But the worst part of this whole thing is, my long-awaited reunion with my mentor never came to pass.
Wait, don't tell me your mentor was...
Professor Court. She was the one who taught me how to think about the law.
So Constance Court was your professor here at the academy?
She may have taught the judge course, but she had a huge impact on me. She was fond of saying, the end is only justified through proper means. She wouldn't tolerate dishonesty, but always revered what was right before all else.
I can feel Prosecutor Gavin's sadness. Oh no, I think I'm gonna cry.
Athena, are you tearing up? Though I can't blame you. Prosecutor Gavin owes a lot of who he is to Professor Court. Exactly. So as you can see, you're both joined in purpose, so to speak, yeah? Now, let's rock this place hard. Huh? I don't follow. Let's rock what? Yeah, forget already, Herr Forehead. I said I'd help you explain the mock trial. We're going to reprise it right here in the lecture hall. It might help us catch her killer. Right, the stage is ready. And you, Heffelhead? Ready to rock? No, the defense is not ready to rock. You saw the actual mock trial earlier, right? Just relax, you'll do fine. Besides, we have the script right here.
Junie's masterpiece, the one everyone's been talking about.
Yeah, and there's only one in existence. I borrowed it, if you will. Now, Fräulein, we'll need you to play the part of defendant and judge as per the script.
Okay, got it.
I've only read the case outline so far. I don't know how it actually turns out, so I'll treat this like I'm prosecuting a real case. You, Herr Forehead, will play the part of a fledgling lawyer, a role you were born to play. All the evidence is also here with us. We have everything we need to reprise the mock trial.
Baby Anne, let's get started. Defendant/Judge Athena Sykes is psyched and ready to rock. Court is now in session for our reenactment of the mock trial. Or what I like to call the mock trial.
Yeah, double mockery, perhaps. But a trial is still a trial. Achtung, baby. It's no horse barred. Let's rock. Can't we take it easy today?
Objection!
It may be just a mock of a mock, but there's only one way to complete. You play to win. So remember, each time I catch you slacking off, I'm holding you in contempt of court.
Great. A judge that voices her own objections and abuses her judicial powers. Not much different than normal.
Now then, Prosecutor Gavin, your opening statement if you please.
You got it, Fräulein Judge. Our case is set in a school very much like this one. The victim, a professor, female. The defendant, an archery club member, also female.
Oh me, oh my. I'm innocent. Innocent, I tell you.
That's some seriously bad acting, Fräulein. Anyway, the victim's body was discovered in the middle of the quad. Here's a shot of the crime scene. Ironically, it was Professor Court who was poised as the corpse. Herr Forehead, how did the mock trial participants react to this photo? Mr. Newman was surprised by what Professor Court was wearing. He reacted with, "Oh, the green sweatsuit."
That's not exactly what I would pick to focus on, so I don't really care about that.
Too much of a fledgling to know what's important, that one. In any case, both in the mock trial and the actual case, Professor Court was wearing a sweatsuit. Moving right along.
Hold it!
Hey, wait a sec. The body was discovered in the same area as the mock case, although there was a stage. Plus, the murder weapon and arrow, and the lack of blood are also the same. That's right, and therein lies the significance of this mock trial. So let's keep rocking it hard, just like that. Before the crime occurred, the defendant was to meet with the victim in the quad.
Let's see here. When I arrived at our meeting place, I found the professor with an arrow in her stomach. But it wasn't me. I didn't kill her. You don't have to ham it up like that, Athena. It's called getting into character here, forehead. Don't be such a wet blanket. Right, let's see. Oh yeah, then Hugh said... Afraid your co-ed used her bare hands to stab her professor with an arrow? I don't think so. At the time of the murder, a male student was seen holding a bow in the archery club room, which has a clear view of the quad. He shot the arrow into the victim before my client ever got there. Nine, Herr Forehead. That feigned swagger does not suit you in the least. Order, order, order! Especially you, Mr. Justice. Me? But I was just trying to get into it, like Mr. Euro Rocker said. So, the victim was shot from the archery club room before the meeting ever took place. Hence, the defendant could not be the killer. That seems to be the defense's assertion. Prosecutor Gavin, do you have any objections? The autopsy report notes that the edges of the victim's wound were unusually ragged. Could such physical trauma possibly result from an arrow shot from above? 9. I believe the victim was impaled with the arrow by hand, post-mortem. In short, the real murder weapon was not the arrow at all. When Robin was prosecuting, he had a tough time determining the real murder weapon. Well, he's just a student, a warm-up act, while I am the real deal, the headliner, so to speak. The true murder weapon was most likely the awl that was left in the art room. An awl? What's that? An awl, you say? What might that be? It's a kind of tool used for poking holes in paper, wood, and other materials. It's kind of like an ice pick. I have a photo here if you're interested. Gross. It's all bloody up to the handle. Please tell me it's just paint. Most likely Fraulein. Pretty realistic, yeah? Let's pretend it's real blood for now. The defendant's prints were lifted from the murder weapon. Furthermore, traces of the victim's blood were discovered in the art room. That's where I believe the murder actually took place. So, the question now is, how did the body get from the art room to the stage? The murder took place in the third floor art room, but the body was found in the quad. It must have been quite a chore moving the body all that way. Not at all. There's a maintenance error in storehouse right outside the art room. And a cart used to carry balls around was found there. Oh, I think I've seen one of those before, but that's a pretty big one. A jumbo, yeah? Big enough to fit a person, or a body in it? The defendant dropped the body from the art room window, then moved it with the cart. That is how a high school girl could easily move a body all by herself. You don't say!
Objection!
Body dropped from 3 stories up, which shows signs of massive blunt force trauma.
Objection!
That may be true, but you fail to account for the large, high jump mat in the storehouse. The body dropped onto such a mat would show no signs of blunt force trauma. Yikes. It's almost scary how similar this whole case is to the mock trial proceedings. Quite the crafty killer, in an attempt to cast suspicion on the archery club. They moved the body to the quad, where it would be an easy shot from the classroom, from the clubroom. Then the killer faked the murder weapon by inserting an arrow into the owl's stab wound.
Sounds like he has only high praise for Junie's script.
Were there any further arguments from the defense? Nope. Seemed like the teacher who was playing the judge was satisfied too. Time for the finale then. Your verdict, if you please, Fräulein Judge.
Huh? Alright, that's me. Very well. This court finds the defendant Juniper Woods. Wait a second. Even if this is just a mock trial of a mock trial, I don't want to declare Junie guilty.
Yeah. Perhaps that's not such a good idea. Let's end our mock trial here. Mock trial here. Yeah. Besides, it's about time I get back to my investigation.
Thanks, you two. That little run through of the mock trial cleared up quite a few things.
Achtung, baby. The prosecution's already got a witness sized up too.
That was quick. Prosecutor Blackwell's almost too good.
You're sure in a helpful mood today, Prosecutor Gavin. Well, like I said, I just want to catch whoever killed Professor Court. And there's no reason for me to start butting heads with you two. Anyway, I won't say goodbye, as I'm sure I'll be seeing you later.
I always thought prosecutors were all a rather scary bunch. But Prosecutor Gavin seems pretty nice.
Yeah, he's not so bad as prosecutors go. We should get back to investigating too. We don't have nearly enough information yet.
We also have to tell Mr. Wright we accepted Junie's case.
Right, looks like we have our work cut out for us.
My nose is itchy.
Is that, excuse me a second. Ugh, mail.
Mr. Wright.
I heard they arrested your friend Juniper. Yeah, Detective Wright just took her in. I refuse to believe that one of our students is capable of murder. We must prove her innocent by any means necessary. The ends justify the means.
What do you mean the end justifies the means?
I, Professor Means, always say what I mean, and mean what I say by all means. Here at our esteemed academy, we train our students to produce meaningful results. You believe in Juniper's innocence, do you not?
Of course I do. Junie wouldn't even hurt a fly.
Precisely. We have justice on our side. The only other thing we need are results. It is the height of folly to endanger your client by failing to pursue all means possible.
Sure I want to prove her innocence, but I don't like the sound of that. The end justifies the means part.
Well, you are still young and idealistic. It's no wonder you fail to see the wisdom therein. There is but one thing to do now. I must personally take up Juniper's defense. You're going to take her case, Professor Means? I may be a professor, but I'm still licensed to practice law. In fact, I've even battled Professor Court in court.
No kidding. So you guys were rivals or something?
No, nothing of the sort. She was an esteemed colleague at the academy and in court. You see, both Professor Court and I graduated from this academy at the top of our class.
Well, I bet they both used to really bring it.
Now, if you would excuse me, I'd best go discuss the case with Juniper.
Professor Means, please wait. I didn't want to say anything, but Hollow and I already agreed to take her case.
It's true. Juniper is counting on us to prove her innocence. Really now, you two? And when were you planning on telling me?
Sorry, boss. I know we should have asked you first, but...
Relax. Your friend was just hauled away in front of your eyes. Sometimes you just have to make snap decisions. I think you made the right one. How wonderful. Very well, Athena Sykes. Let me ask you just one thing. As a lawyer, what is it that you treasure beyond all else?
That's an easy one, Professor. Seeking justice for my clients.
What a wonderful answer. Juniper must be overjoyed to have a friend such as you. As her professor, I too shall do whatever I may to help her. And if you decide to take the end justifies the means strategy, come see me at once.
Let's hope it never comes to that.
Now, if you would excuse me. Well, times are wasting. You better start investigating them fast. But first, how about I tell you everything I know so far?
Yes, please. Have you learned anything new about the case?
Actually, I ran into Prosecutor Gavin, and he told me something interesting. Seems the murder took place in the art room. There's traces of a large pool of blood there. So the police believe the body was moved from there to the stage.
What? Really? Just like the mock trial again.
The police are searching the art room, but whether they'll find anything, well...
Well, what? Come to think of it.
Let's do our own crime scene investigation before it gets too crowded around here.
Huh? Are we even allowed to do that?
It's no big deal, as long as we leave it exactly like we found it. Plus... no, never mind.
Now, where was I again?
But there's really no need to talk about it right here, right now. I want you two to find out for yourselves. So, were you shocked by your conversation with Professor Means?
Oh, I guess so. Actually, that was pretty shocking.
The dark age of the law. I'm sure you've heard those words before.
Sure, a number of times. Prosecutors file false charges and lawyers fight back by fabricating evidence. There's a lot of that going around these days.
The question is, how is it related to the case at hand? Training students to produce results. That is the school's policy.
Well, that in and of itself isn't a bad thing.
Right. As long as those results come by fair and honest means.
Oh, but what was it that Professor Mean said? The end justifies the means?
To survive the dark age of the law, you must use any means necessary. Fabrication of evidence and false charges are unavoidable in the quest for results. That's what they're preaching here at Thames Legal Academy.
But what'll happen to our legal system if results are all that matters anymore?
Relax, it's just a rumour. I'd take it with a grain of salt if I were you.
Oh, that's a relief. You had me going there for a minute. Wait a second. What if Mr. Wright examined the victim's body for a reason? Maybe he was worried someone might actually tamper with the evidence.
I think that about wraps up what I know so far. The fact that this case closely resembles Miss Wood's script is obviously important. Knowing that, you should probably try and identify what's the same and what's different.
Okay, I'll try talking to as many people as I can on campus.
Well, the area was cordoned off. Hey, the police are discussing something over there.
Oh, I know. I'll just quietly sneak over for a listen. Here goes.
Athena, which way you're...
Huh? Ouch! Who put this stupid box here? Wait. Apollo, this box, there's...
What now?
There's someone or something inside.
Don't let it be a snake!
You morons just blew my cover.
What the... There really is someone inside.
That someone is me, Miriam Scuttlebutt. And I'm a senior in the judge course. What's with the box? The fate of we who live in the shadows is a very good reason why none may see my face by the light of day.
Wait, you're taking the judge course. Did you write a mock trial script too?
You really want to see my script that bad? Well, you better watch out. Read it without my permission, and you'll wish you hadn't. Who cares? I'm sure it was rejected for a good reason. Oh, so you're studying to be a judge too? You must be a classmate with Juniper. Are you a friend of hers? Juniper? Sure, she's my friend. That's why I'm gathering info. Now, tell me all about you, for tomorrow's trial. Oh, tomorrow's trial? What are you talking about? I'm going to take the stand, naturally. So, the witness for the prosecution is some weirdo in a cardboard box? This disguises how I get my scoops. But you're right, it's me. So tell me everything you know for Juniper's sake.
Wait a second. Miriam, repeat what you just said.
A lawyer with brains as bad as his ears. Poor Juniper. I'm taking the stand tomorrow. Tell me everything you know for Juniper's sake. Clear enough for you this time?
I thought so. Athena, my bracelet's reacting.
Really? That means... lie already? That was quick.
Gotcha!
That's strange. You suddenly tightened your grip when you said, "for Juniper's sake." It's like you subconsciously tensed up because you're lying.
What are you talking about? When did I ever lie? Okay then, let me ask you this. Why were you selected as a witness? That's an easy one. I'm the editor-in-chief of the Thames Herald. I know everything there is to know around campus, even the darkest of secrets.
Editor-in-chief, huh? Pretty impressive.
Yeah, well, it's a lonely one-woman operation. I do it all myself, from reporting to editing to publishing. Still impressed? I'm a perfect storm of journalism because I bring it all to the table. And this is the evidence. Here. An extra edition of the Thames Herald, published to coincide with the mock trial. Thanks, Miriam. You revealed who you truly are. As someone who's never had Junie's best interests in mind. What? Are you questioning our friendship? Look, you may want answers, but no can do, because what you're saying conflicts with this piece of evidence.
Take that!
That's the Thames Herald, the paper I publish. What about it? Are you really that dense? This article is full of malicious lies about Junie. It's definitely not something a true friend of hers would write. You got it all wrong. Another staff member wrote that one. I don't think so, Miriam. You even said it yourself just a moment ago. It's a one-woman operation. Or did you forget already? You've just given me all the info you have. Stupid pawn. Juniper's just using you. Now, I want the truth, Miriam. You hid in your box in order to collect gossip for your sleazy paper. Isn't that right?
You're not really friends with Juniper, are you?
No, duh. She's the target of my scoops, and my readers demand dirt. Extra, extra, the dirty little secret of the squeaky clean student council president. Dirty little secret? Alright, what are you planning to say in court, huh? I'm a witness to her part in the crime. I'm going to tell it all in a shocking expose. The end justifies the means. That's my brand of tell-all journalism. The end justifies the means. Wait a second. In this dark age of law, many of us embrace Professor Mean's methods, even future judges. I've even adopted an end justifies the means brand of journalism, which includes tape recorders secretly hidden all over our campus. Secretly recording every last word without anyone being any the wiser. Doesn't she realize that's totally illegal? And one of them was at the scene of the crime, the art room.
You put a tape recorder in the art room? What did it record?
You wanna know? You really wanna know? Yes, please. That's so nice of you. Like I'd really tell you now, the big scoop comes out in court tomorrow. You're so mean, Miriam. According to my evidence, a fatal fissure had opened between the three of them. Who? Junie, Hugh and Robin? And what do you mean by fatal fissure? Juniper, Hugh and Robin used to be the best of friends. Used to be? They still seem to get along fine to me. I did sense some discord though. You don't know anything. Professor Means has his followers, and Professor Court had hers. Their influence is inescapable. Are you implying that one of them adheres to that extreme idea you and Professor Means have? But why would anyone follow that philosophy? How could you possibly understand? You're new around here.
Miriam, wouldn't you feel better if you came out of the dark and into the light?
I can see fine in here. You'll be the one seeing the light in court tomorrow. Then you'll realize how guilty Juniper Woods really is.
Ah, it really doesn't pick up the s too well.
We're going to have to cross-examine her tomorrow, but I don't know where to start.
Well, let's at least take care of whatever we can today.
You're right. Let's see what else we can find out. Look, there's Hugh. Hey, Hugh!
Oh, it's you two. Do you want something? Did you find anything? You said you were going to do some investigating of your own. No, nothing yet. I'm afraid it's not looking very good for Juniper. You didn't really think Juniper could have done something like this, do you? Only the author and the victim knew the contents of the script. Both the stage and the art room were in the exact same state as described therein. Nobody could mimic the crime like that unless they'd already read the script. Or wrote it.
But...
Look, Professor Mears is better able to handle this than you two, so just leave it to him.
There it is again. I'm picking up some discord in Hugh's voice. Hugh, would you mind telling me a little bit about yourself?
Whatever. I'm 6'1" and under this uniform. I'm 100% lean muscle. My grades are outstanding and I'm the ace of the archery club. Needless to say, I never miss my mark. Oh, and I'm incredibly humble too.
How can you even say that with a straight face?
Those around me call me a genius, and I pay them no mind. Just so many updates today. But when it comes to tests, I always get 100%, so I suppose it's only natural for them to say I'm a genius. But, as I said before, I pay them no mind.
I heard you the first time.
But what about the mock trial? Sounded like you were about to lose to Robin. There's a very good reason for that. You see, right before the mock trial started, I saw the body.
You saw the body?
Right, and I was so distraught that I basically handed Robin a victory. Hugh, would you mind telling us a little more about that? Right before the mock trial, the campus was empty. Everyone was here in the lecture hall.
Your attention, please. This is an announcement for the mock trial committee. The mock trial will begin shortly. All students and faculty, please proceed at once to the lecture hall. That's right. There was that announcement, and then everyone came in here.
The only exceptions were the mock trial participants. Juniper, Robin and I were in our personal dressing rooms next door. Wow, your own personal dressing rooms. That's total VIP treatment. Actually, they're for student-teacher meetings. They don't even have windows. The other two waited patiently in their rooms, and that's not my style. So I headed over to the archery range on the other side of the quad. I did some meditation while I waited. That's the best way to relax. Then, just before the mock trial was to start, I headed back toward the main building. As I walked across the quad, I passed in front of the stage.
So that's when you saw the body.
Right. It was quite a shock. As much as I hate to admit it, my legs were shaking. Could have easily beaten Robin if it hadn't been for that. Wait, hold it right there. You went through with the mock trial even though you had just discovered a body. Why didn't you tell anyone? I mean, we're talking about someone getting killed here.
I think I know why. Was it because of this?
Where'd you get that?
So this article in the Thames Herald is true. The winner of the mock trial would get to make his confession to Junie.
Right, but if I reported the body I'd found, the whole thing would be called off.
You really wanted to win that bad? Bad enough to ignore a dead body? Sorry, but that's not normal. Could their love for Junie really be that strong?
Thanks for sharing that important piece of information with us. May prove useful at tomorrow's trial. Good, because that's all I have to say about the matter.
Thanks, and don't worry. We'll prove Juniper's innocence. You'll see.
I can't say you two inspire much confidence. Okay, Athena, what's next?
So this is the maintenance area. Let's see, during the mock trial, Prosecutor Gavin said that the art room is right above here on the 3rd floor. And that the body was dropped from there onto a high jump mat from the storehouse.
Right, and then he claimed that the body was transported to the stage in a ball cart. And then... there's someone else here.
Hey, it's Robin.
Whoa! You scared the crud out of me!
Yikes, right back at you. So what are you doing out here?
I'm working out so that I can become strong enough to save Juniper! But I'm so worked up, my training brace is almost breaking at the seams!
Oh right, the girl you got arrested. So you're psyching yourself up to rescue her?
Yes, because I'm the manliest of manly men! That's why I work out with my manly brace!
Except that I hear some discord in that manliness of men's voice of yours.
I don't mean to be rude, but can't you talk without shouting? Sorry! I'll try not to shout so much! If at all possible, that is!
Which is not at all possible by the sound of it. So, do you mind if I ask you some questions as Junie's lawyer?
No problem! Ask away! Keep them coming, man!
Ouch. My ears ache already. Robin, could you tell me a little more about yourself?
You want to know about me? I'm a second-rate member of the Fine Arts Club.
Fine Arts Club? It looks like broken pottery or plaster. Maybe this is the source of that noise we heard.
There were supposedly 2 statues on this stage. Seem to recall hearing that a co-ed from the Fine Arts Club made them. The 2 big banners and a pack of wicked statues. This is just an illustration, but it's not half bad.
Wicked statues? Wait, are these supposed to be you and Mr. Wright?
Bingo, Fraulein. And they were so big and magnificent too. What a terrible waste.
Say, did you create those stage statues by any chance?
You bet I did. Both of them. Put my blood, sweat and tears into the things, man.
Must have been terrible seeing them all smashed up like that.
Nah, I couldn't face Professor Cord if I let something like that get me down.
What do you mean?
Professor Court was the Fine Arts Club advisor. She was all about truth and beauty, man. She always said, the only good result is the truth. That and only lawyers who seek the truth through legitimate means produce worthwhile results.
Yes, I'm totally on your guys' side. She must have been an incredible woman.
Yeesh, you call me loud when I practice my chords as still. Oh man, why do I have to take the prosecutor course? I mean, how am I supposed to save Juniper if I'm studying to be a prosecutor?
Don't worry, I'll clear Junie's name, you'll see.
The 3 of us had a dream. We swore we'd make it happen together. Prosecutor, lawyer, judge, the 3 of us would hold fair and honest trials. The dark age of the law, ha! We were gonna put a nail in its coffin, man! Well, you guys swore to do that. But no! That stupid school rule had to ruin it!
School rule? Which one?
Anyone with a prior conviction, no matter how minor the offence, they won't be allowed to graduate from this stupid, holier-than-thou school! Tough legal academy with even tougher rules.
Junie will never become a judge unless I can prove her innocence. And if I fail, the 3 of them will never realise their dream. It's like someone put pressure on my pressure. Well, I think I've talked to everyone who is somehow linked to the case.
Okay, maybe it's about time we wrapped up our investigation.
Oh wait, we haven't met with Junie yet.
Yeah, you're right.
Let's head over to the detention centre. Thina, thank you so much for coming. She called me Thina like she used to. Maybe she's finally letting her guard down. Junie, the crime's unfolded exactly like your script. Any idea what's going on here? We wanted to make it fair, so the script was kept secret until the day of the mock trial. The only people who knew the details were Professor Court and I. Nothing we haven't heard already so far. However... Yes? What is it, Junie? Well, there was this one article in the school paper.
You mean this one? It's more like a tabloid piece than a newspaper article, if you ask me.
I've been worried that the trial would wreck the friendship between Robin, you and me.
She wants to
She wants to stay friends with... She wants to stay friends, but both of the guys are hoping to take it to the next level. All the passion of high school drama. Wish I could have experienced it. And I know I shouldn't have, but I revised the script to favor the prosecution. But Professor Court noticed it immediately and changed it back. So if Robin had won, you wouldn't have been able to confess his love to Junie. That would have kept the trio's relationship the same. Never knew Junie could be so devious. Sorry, I guess my personal problems probably won't be of any help in court today. Court, huh?
You never know. Help often comes from the most unexpected places. Thanks, Juniper.
I was wondering about that owl you had on you when you were arrested.
Detective Fulbright, we found this in the suspect's pocket. Why, there's blood on this!
That's evidence we made for the mock trial.
A mock trial? Never heard of such a thing, but it sounds fishy to me. Real fishy.
It was the murder weapon for the mock trial. Professor Court and I were preparing it in the art room until the day before the trial. I didn't even realize I still had it on me until I was arrested.
Then we have nothing to worry about. There shouldn't be any way to link it to the crime.
Still, that blood red color on the owl bothers me. Wasn't it just paint or something? I mean, I was looking at it from pretty far away, but it probably was just paint. But that's what bothers me. It wasn't on the owl when we were preparing it yesterday.
Wasn't? Then how and when did it get there?
Well, before the mock trial began, I showed Thena and Mr. Wright to the waiting room. Then I went back to my dressing room to get the trial props we were going to use. That's when I found the art room key and the owl with what looked like blood on it. A key and the owl? Professor Court normally has the art room key since she's the Fine Arts Club advisor. And since that key was there in the dressing room, I thought she was the one who had painted the owl to look like it had blood on it. After all, she always insisted that the prop should be realistic, so... The owl suddenly showed up on the day of the trial with what looks like blood on it. I have a really bad feeling about this.
Me too, but let's not jump the gun on this.
You and Professor Court were busy preparing for the mock trial together yesterday, right? What was that the last time you saw her? Yes, I left school at around 6 p.m.
Did you notice anything different about her?
No, I didn't notice anything out of the ordinary. She looked and acted the same as always. I would have never guessed she'd end up like this. It looks like we're about out of time. Thank you for coming to see me. We'll do everything we can to prove you innocent tomorrow. I know. And I believe in you, Thena. Well, I should go now. Bye.
She's gonna be alright. She's like a shadow of the girl we met back at the academy.
The Junie I know was always like that. A little weak and sickly. But the fact that she's lifted her facade... But the fact that she's lifted her facade shows that she trusts us. Even still...
What is it?
Well, when Junie and her two friends were talking about their friendship, I sensed some discord in their hearts.
Seriously?
Yeah, but it was really faint. We might have been mistaken. There's no reason to doubt their friendship, is there?
Don't worry, everything will be fine. You and Juniper are friends, right? You know that friend I mentioned to you earlier? Well, get this. Whenever something's troubling one of us, the other can just feel it. That's real friendship.
I suppose you're right. Might as well forget about that and concentrate on the trial.
Yep, tomorrow's the big day. Let's sort out what we know so far.
Okay. The victim, Professor Constance Court, was murdered in the art room on the 3rd floor. Then her body was moved to the outdoor stage in the quad. Also, the location where we found the body was just as the mock trial script described.
I wish those were the only similarities they shared.
What do you mean?
What I mean is, the script and in this case are exactly the same in almost every respect. So it follows that the actual trial may very well unfold just like the mock trial did.
Oh no. The mock trial ended right before the prosecution was about to win. Well, that's not gonna happen. This time, Junie will be declared not guilty. Of course, I intend to get our result the honest way. We can do this. We'll be fine. After all, I have Apollo, and he's the king of being fine.
Ugh. Right then. That will be all for today. Unfortunately, I won't be on tomorrow because I have a very important delivery I need to be around for. So, I shall be back with more on Friday. For now, though, bye!